Welcome, it's Tom Zeeb with Traction Real Estate Investors Association, and I have with me right now Andy Heller. Hey, Andy.
Tom, great to see you.
Great to see you as always, Andy. So look, we've got you coming in online for some online Traction REIA events, and I want to ask you what specifically are you going to be talking about and why should people attend?
Sure, I'll kind of make it simple, Tom. So it's really interesting. Now I couldn't have this conversation with you 20 years ago because I'm older now, everybody. So I'm kind of a student of history in addition to being a real estate investor. And I'm going to walk you through a real interesting pattern. So in the 80s, real estate prices appreciated, and there was a savings and loan uh, uh, fiasco, call it, in the late 80s.
You're
And
very
that was
kind.
followed by a reset in the real estate market. And essentially, you could call it a 2 or 3 year sale where you could buy properties at crazy discounts.
Yes.
Guess what happened in the 90s? Same thing, rapid appreciation. In 1999, we had a short recession that was really the catalyst was the dot-com bust, followed by, guess what? A 2 or 3 year real estate sale where you could buy properties at crazy discounts. In the 2000s, property values increased substantially. And in 2008, boom, we had the Great Recession, followed by a 3 to 5 year period where real estate investors could buy properties at crazy discounts. You see the pattern, everybody? Every 8 to 12 years, there's a reset. Most of those who follow the real estate market and essentially the economy feel that we would have had this reset already if it wasn't for the fact that we had COVID and governments pumped lots of money into the economy. And whether you agree with that or not, or too much, too little, what for sure happened is when you pump that kind of money, any reset that was going to occur is delayed. So most of us who follow the real estate market see an exciting pattern and an opportunity right now. So when these resets occur, everybody, they don't just happen. There's always signs beforehand. And the number one sign is when you see rapid increases in mortgage delinquencies. When people get behind in their mortgage, it's a sign that the reset is coming. So we're starting to see those signs by almost 20% increase year over year in 60-day mortgage delinquencies. This is a really significant statistic. It suggests that a reset is coming. So finishing the why you should attend my event is when these resets occur, well, on the buying end, without any doubt, the number one way for investors to acquire properties below market is our REOs, otherwise known as real estate owned property, post foreclosures, or bank owned. These are foreclosures that go back to the bank, and the bank now has this big problem of disposing of these properties, and they typically do it at a discount. So I teach how to buy bank-owned properties, get this everybody, before they hit MLS and before 99% of other investors even know they exist. Okay? Now, what else happens in these resets? These resets typically align with recessionary times. And during recessionary times, investors have to be prepared for a situation where they're not going to be able to flip properties like they used to. So without any question there, the best strategy for investors who want to benefit as property values recover is the lease option. And I teach that also. So it's almost like you're going to get a 2-for-1. Without a doubt, everybody, there's not a lot of deals out there right now. I would look at today like 2007. Most investors knew that this rapid appreciation that we have realized is going to come to an end. What nobody knows is how the end will look. Will it be a sudden event? Will it be driven by a global issue? I don't know the answer to that either. What I do know is that we're seeing the same signs today we saw in 2007, right before the Great Recession. We're seeing the same signs today we saw in 1998 before the dot-com bubble burst, and the same signs in the late 80s before the savings and loan fiasco. So the reason why Tom booked me for this event is he wants to have his group, the Traction Real Estate Investors, see this opportunity before the opportunity happens so that we can get ready, as opposed to bringing me in 2 years later when it's too late. So that's why these events are so important, guys.
Yeah, Andy, that's exactly why. I mean, if I were to put it in a less polite way, it's because I get sick and tired of hearing everyone talking about how, oh, they wish they would have bought Apple stock 20, 30 years ago because they knew it was going to take. If only they had known. After the fact, everybody always knows, and then sits there and acts like they were some sort of genius, even though they didn't buy it, which is always amusing to me. Here we have, I mean, effectively what you're describing. I think Yogi Berra said it best. It's deja vu all over again. So you're seeing the exact same pattern because the same darn thing happens again and again and again. Whether or not you agree with how much money the government pumps into what, it doesn't matter. The cycle happens, and the cycle is happening again. And you can sit there and watch it happen and then watch other people make a ton of money as you continue to sit on the sidelines, even though we've told you it's coming. We've warned you it's coming. We've told you to get ready for it. But maybe I think some people view it like building an ark. Most people are telling you you're crazy until it actually happens, because most people don't have any foresight, but their hindsight's 2020. But don't be too impressed by hindsight being 2020. It's not that hard because the past is fact and the future is a little bit unknown. But this is why we want to get you ready.
Thanks, Tom. There's not a whole lot I can add to that other than, I've been invested, everybody, for 34 years. I've been teaching for almost 2 decades. I know this topic. I don't have a lot of regrets as a real estate investor. Real estate investing has allowed me to have the opportunity to buy other businesses, start other businesses. Real estate itself has made me wealthy. So I love to teach everybody because of not only what it's done for me, but the opportunity to help some of you become millionaires many times over. Frankly, it's exciting. I don't have a lot of regrets. I got one regret in a 34-year investing career.
Well, now you got to tell us.
I'm going to tell you. I wish that I knew 08 was coming. I did. I was looking at these signs in 07, but I was at a much earlier stage in my own investing career. And I wish I had the foresight to prepare so that, and I bought plenty of properties in the Great Recession, but I could have bought 3 or 4 times as many if I was not just mentally prepared, but I had taken steps with my own business to be in a position to buy on a much higher level. So everything I've talked to you guys about, I'm also doing myself. I'm not going to make the mistake I made when I was almost 20 years younger. So this time I see that this is coming, and I'm still young enough, Tom, to ride up one more down cycle. But as a real estate investor, I think the time right now is unquestionably the most exciting opportunity you may see in your lifetime, because we know it's coming. We see the signs. So it's all about preparing ourselves today to be one of those investors who, when the reset is coming, you are ready, your business is ready, and you're not going to buy 1 or 2 properties. You're going to buy dozens, enough properties to set yourself up for life. That's what my events in July are about.
Awesome. Well, let's see. Between the two sides of that coin, the inbound, being able to take advantage of this great flood of deals coming our way because of the situation, but also you're also teaching the exit on them as well, which is lease options, which, look, I mean, even if you only wanted one side of that coin, I would get involved in that. For lease options alone is a fantastic way of selling properties that you get through any technique. So I like this double whammy of being ready for the flood that's coming, and also knowing how to best manage it and take advantage of it so that you build the most profit and wealth as you go through that process.
Great. And one of the things I'm going to actually dive into in the full day workshop is, let's say you're a traction member and you would ideally prefer to flip more properties and not lease option. Well, I will show you how to use the lease option to bring more traffic in your properties to help you flip a higher percentage. Let's say you actually love the idea of lease options and you want to just put almost all your properties that you buy after the reset on lease options. So when they sell, they're going to sell in the future and you'll be able to realize much of the recovery that occurs. I'll show you how to do that too. So what I'm going to cover in the general meeting, I will give a nice overview of our model. In the full day workshop, I'm going to roll up my sleeves, guys. You're going to roll up your sleeves and we're going to get to work. I'm going to show you step by step by step by step how to contact the banks, what to say when you call the banks, how to identify which properties to focus on, how to flip, how to wholesale, and how to lease option these properties you're buying at these crazy discounts. And that will take a bit more time. So that's what we're going to cover in the full day workshop.
Now, both of these workshops, Andy, are online. So I just want people to think about that. You can attend from the comfort of your home, from anywhere. But where does this work, Andy? If people are coming from different parts of the country, because traction's all over the place these days.
That's a great question. Well, I've been teaching for almost 2 decades. I've taught as far west as Hawaii and all along the eastern seaboard. So the beautiful thing about my model is it works everywhere. And maybe you're actually in Texas and you heard something like, well, lease options can't be done here. I'm going to tell you right now, that's incorrect. They have to be done differently, but they can be done. So no matter what state you happen to be a member of Traction, I can help you guys make money, but I can't if you decide not to attend. The last thing I'll say is that I love to teach. And if you go on Google and you check out Andy Heller, my reputation in the education business is pretty good. And I'm also the beneficiary of having, in my opinion, I'm completely biased, probably the 2 sexiest topics for real estate investors as we approach resets. So I promise you, my commitment to all of you, if you spend a full day with me, I'll make this the most important day you've ever spent as a real estate investor, whether you're brand new to real estate or you're a seasoned investor or you're in the middle as an intermediate investor.
You'll be in good shape. Andy, people that don't know you, I think it shows a little bit right now, but I'm going to say something. I don't mean this offensively at all. You're a little bit OCD, right? A little obsessive compulsive. You're very detailed. So, folks, when I've had Andy teach for us before, his Saturday, it's like line by line, step by step, and it connects the dots in a way that only somebody that's clinically obsessed with the details can be, which is great for the rest of us, because when you don't understand something, it really helps to have somebody that's clinical about being able to explain it and knows each step of the process. So it's not like just putting out a concept and guessing. This is getting right down to the rubber meets the road. That's what we're after. So I find it to be a very good thing.
And I appreciate that. My real estate partner for years, and also my partner in the education business, is by trade an intellectual property attorney. So we've done, I think, a very good job of organizing our intellectual property, not just into our course material, but in the full day too. And we teach. I love to teach. And I will show you how the system works. I'll show you how the model works. And the last thing I would say is very humbling, is that what I'm going to teach you about, our business model, was actually profiled and recommended by Fortune magazine among the top 5 wealth building models for real estate investors. So I'd even go so far to say, don't just take my word for it or Tom's word for it. You want to attend these events, but Fortune magazine might be the leading magazine in the country that follows financial opportunities, and our model got listed as a top 5.
Perfect. That's beautiful. All right. So Andy, let me give people give them the details here. go to tractionrea.com, traction, REIA.com. You can click on events calendar. You're going to see Andy's events there. They're on Thursday, July 18th and Saturday, July 20th, 2024. And jump in on both of them. There's no charge to attend the Thursday session. Andy's speaking at our main meeting online. The Saturday, grab a ticket now. We have a fair bit of space on Zoom, but I am limited to how many seats I can get on Zoom. So grab a seat now, so you don't a slot on Zoom now, so that you don't lose out. And that's Saturday, July 20th.